who's winning.
Oh yeah, we wasn't even gonna wait on the handler. We waited long enough, but casually late as always.
I figured
here.
y'all already got started.
Waiting on the handler.
Here I am, right on time.
Waiting on the handler.
First of all, what's that hat, handler? That thing looks smooth.
That's my boy Dylan Carmichael. Dylan Carmichael,
Okay.
DC.
I like it.
To blow up my screen so I can say, okay, yes, I like that. Very nice, very nice.
What's that shirt you got on, Tig Nasty?
Oh, everybody, just take a little.
Oh, nice shirt there.
Oh,
wow.
man, who's that
Straight off
guy?
the press.
Take a little peek at
Handler
that.
tee.
Where can people buy that shirt?
Wow, I
JR?
love it. That's jrthehandler.com. By
You damn
God,
right.
You can find all your handler swag there. I love it.
Right, you can.
That's awesome. Now, what are you
Yes,
doing,
you can. I
Blasi? You're
love
not
this,
repping
dude.
nobody?
I love
Just gray
this shirt.
T-shirt. Blasi said he piss on all
Blasi
the
goes
sponsors.
plain
You're not repping
tonight.
nobody tonight?
Great T-shirt. I had a busy day today, man. I had to go.
Oh, God.
Y'all ready for 30 more minutes? No, I'm kidding. I had to go
bring it.
I had to go up to
Let's
I
go.
had to do some, basically, this giant lawnmower my mom's got. So, I mean, this thing is a hog. And old Craftsman, this thing just will go through. It's like a bush hog. She got a big lot next to her house and just went and cleared that big old 1 acre lot with that thing. And
Nice.
so I had to do all that and
Oh,
get
yeah.
back here, get kids and all that, get settled in, and just kind of just went straight from in the house to right out here. So
Love it.
Well, I mean,
Time
that brings
stopped.
up a good thing, a good point here. Whenever you bush hog, I've cut enough grass to, good Lord. I did it from the time I was old enough to start to mow till currently. And now I'm passing that
Right.
on to my son. I'm teaching him, by the way, he's not cutting the grass right now. He's supposed to be cutting the grass. Anyhow, it isn't too high. We're going to have that conversation in the morning. But something that when you were a kid, what'd you jam out to? Like I always had my old yellow Walkman with some tape, listening to a tape. Those old headphones that would come in, they sounded really good, especially for a tape,
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any particular jams or any tapes that y'all wore out when you were cutting grass as a kid?
I did. 2 of them, Hank Williams' Born to Boogie and the old Alabama tape. Those were 2 tapes right there. Just
you
absolutely
go.
beat those 2 to death.
Hey, mic drop right there. I mean, that don't get no better than those two.
Shit.
As good as it gets.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say mine. They're terrible. They're terrible. Absolutely
Yeah.
terrible. Look, we got folks in the house tonight. Stacy G
What up?
is with us.
what's up?
She's
What's
been
up?
so
What's
excited
up?
for the show. She was in here about 10 minutes, I think, before the show started. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Stacy. We got
Can I get a
Mortar
oh, hell
in
yeah?
the house saying hello to Stacy, but I know he's saying hello to us too. What's up, Mortar? Good to have you, my man. Dude, what a hell of a show we had last night.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
And got a surprise.
And it came out
this
today.
morning. Yeah.
Look,
isn't
this
that
worked
crazy?
out.
And then it
this
dropped
worked out
today.
good.
Yeah.
Look, this worked
think
out good for
it did.
everybody because now we get to talk about the show after the show's come out, and so we don't have to not say something or not. You know what I'm saying? This works best.
Exactly. Yes,
This is
exactly.
best.
Because we were going to be like, the NBA playoffs. We won't know who won game 1. Well, that's going to be happening while we're doing this show tonight.
Exactly.
And
this worked out
yeah.
perfect. We need to make sure
Yeah,
to
it did.
stress to Seth and Bubba that this worked out. I don't know why they did that. Y'all may know. Y'all know I don't care why, but
have no
it
idea.
worked out perfect. And I thought when I saw that, because I didn't know it was going to drop, when I saw Bubba had retweeted that it was dropping today, come out a day earlier, I was like, oh. And then I thought, well, we're going to talk about that. We can talk about the show tonight on the live show. So this makes the perfect sense. We need to try to do this every week if that's an option.
Oh, yeah.
In my
I know.
opinion.
Here's the thing.
That's
we
just
don't
me
know the
personally. If
option.
everybody out there watching and listening says, no, screw that, JR, that's fine too. But in my opinion, I think that's the
I'm
way
in
to
total
go.
agreement. I like it being on Thursday. That's kind of whenever our podcast, as we've done it over the years, it would drop on Thursday mornings. So this kind of goes
Yeah, it's
in.
kinda, we just
kind
run
of goes into the
duels on a
flow of
Thursday.
things, But hey,
Podcast in the morning,
whatever.
live in the afternoon. In the evening.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They may try to mix things up. Who knows what they're trying to do? I don't know.
But this week it worked out great.
Yeah,
for all
this
of
week
us,
this week it's perfect for
because
us.
like as anybody
Unintentionally.
listen, because like anybody listening, we can go through the list that you sent us that AI generated of our topics was
That
hilarious.
list was unbelievable, wasn't it?
But Blasi started off. He go ahead give himself a gut shot and even started. Hey, you want to hear about it for 30 minutes? He went ahead and got that on out there today because that's gonna be we're gonna kick it off with a fireball. Blasi's gonna give you a 30-minute story, which is great. It's great. It's tremendous.
Hell yeah, it is.
Tremendous.
Hell yeah, it is. I mean,
but-
I love all the stories that we tell, especially
Yeah.
for both of you guys.
Oh my
You
God!
know, I mean,
And then Blasi's day, and then like you had. That's what you said earlier. Oh, I had today. I think I have long, worn out, dramatic days. Blasi has some damn days that seem like movie sagas that last for like 5 years. He did all that in one day. That stuff he explained yesterday.
yeah. And
I even left out what I did before all that started. My son hit some sign situation that fell off. It's like they had it wrapped in plastic. It's like a crosswalk thing, and somehow it fell off in the middle of the road. He hits that. Dude, I'm down there at 7 o'clock at the hospital examining his car. He's done busted his radiator that morning, so we're dealing with that, trying to get that towed.
My
That's
God.
before I did all that. Yeah, that was
Good
that
Lord.
was interesting.
I mean, hey, lesson here, boys and girls. You got to get up early if you want to put a full day in like Blasi, the one-man posse. It ain't easy. It ain't
It's a
easy.
fact.
It feels easy. Everybody do it. You got, the early bird gets the worm, and the second mouse gets the cheese. If you're Blasi, the one-man posse, he don't miss it.
The second mouse gets the cheese. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
He don't
That's
miss it.
fantastic. Bubba Fan 69 says Blasi not being at the brewery throws him off. I know.
Means he
I
doesn't
know.
care
It's-
about y'all. Means he doesn't care about the show. He's just
Yeah,
Yes,
too much
yes.
to try to
So he
juggle
does
today,
the
man.
he does
Too
the
much to
brewery
juggle today.
show on the show that is only on audio at the moment. He does this show live from the studio. It should
flipped
be
it.
reversed. I think we.
I
we
did
all-
flip it. I flipped it purposely because I knew today was going to be a loaded day, and I just knew I was going to be getting back and doing all this hustle. I can't go up
management.
there, and try to get position and try to set up. And it had been worse than even today because I literally set up, got everything going, went inside, got some dinner stuff ready, got this, and enough to take a shower before all that.
I mean,
and
you're
sit down.
doing
That
great,
was it.
Blasi.
That was it.
You're
That was
doing
perfect.
great.
And
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
why I did
but this bears a question, and chat. You guys feel free to chime in. I've been wanting to ask you this, Blasi. You know Bubba better than anybody, and
Then
I'm just kind of in this forum for
Okay.
sure, and with amongst us three, man, I've just kind of been thinking, would y'all like to see these shows? Because every show that we do with these Bubba exclusive shows, we've got them recorded. They're ready to go. I know we don't want to interfere with it dropping on the Bubba Podcast Network and all of that stuff, but I'm talking like a week or two later, drop these shows on our YouTube. Do you think that would be a problem? I mean,
I don't know. And if not, surely they wouldn't mind us putting it on Patreon for a time until we can put it on YouTube. Say we want to wait 3 months for each episode goes on YouTube. They'd still let us throw it on Patreon or something.
yeah, just a few days later or something. Still,
But the problem with Patreon is it's so you can't. Our shows are long.
Right.
We don't make short shows. Let's just be honest about
Right.
it. And they're all an hour long. I think I'm not sure how long you can go. I think it's 10 minutes is the longest
just
clip
little
you can put
bits.
on Patreon. So yeah, I mean we could always put them on
shorts
our
or whatever,
website or something like that. But I
Yeah.
think we should ask. We're
Yeah.
just spitballing
just-
out here live with everybody. But I think
Hey,
we
could
should
just
ask Seth.
and then Seth can run it back to Bubba. And
The
then
main
Bubba
thing
can
is
go.
I would never want to try to piss Bubba off or any of them because we are beyond grateful for all of the help that they've been giving us to our show, and all of the folks like that are in the chat right now. We're beyond grateful for all that. So I don't want to burn any bridges or piss anybody off. But
People will love it. They love it because Blasi puts Bubba over, and I'm telling you, everybody else would love it if we buried Bubba. Nobody cares. They just want something. Just throw. Either way, they don't care. I see his. I look at some of his Twitter stuff. His biggest fans bury him every time they get a chance. They will call him the
Oh,
worst
they
shit
do.
ever, and then they're talking about, all right, buddy, love you. See you next time. I can't wait to listen tomorrow. I'm like, I love it. It's hilarious. And then there's other people that just anything. I love it. It's. I get it.
I know my buddy.
it's good
it's
content.
so entertaining.
He may be listening
Yeah,
or
it's
may
great.
not be listening. WSMFP. When he gets on there, anytime Bubba gets to start talking about the Hogan stuff, and if he's in chat, he'll just start going like, "Oh my God, not again! Stop it, stop it!" He'll wear him out on it. Like, yeah, he's always. Oh yeah, that's the cool thing. There's so many fans that'll. Yeah, they'll melt down on you sometime. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just all
Yeah.
it's all in good fun. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
kinda part
Hey,
of
and
it.
I
It's
saw
part of the
that.
deal.
I saw some of that interview scrolling today because I had a little laxer today for myself. But I saw that video of Eric Andre Bubba interview, so now I know who you're talking about exactly. Yes, that dude's hilarious, man. He's been in
Yes.
a ton
Oh,
of
yeah.
funny stuff. Yeah, so that makes
A
sense.
ton
But
of
I didn't see
stuff.
the part about I didn't see any of the stuff about him not putting Alex
So
Stein
explain-
over. We talked about that on the show today, which was great. It's exactly what I asked. I was like, it was a point in the show. It was like, hey, I need to figure out what happened in Bubba's world, because this time, some weeks I do get to catch a few things now that we're in his universe, so I keep up, appreciate him. I like a lot of the content they put out. But this past week I had no idea what happened because of my travel troubles and just been busy. So Blasi giving me that breakdown yesterday was gold, because we started off. That's one reason we should put this show where you could see it, because we started off the show. Tiggs was ready to like punch through his screen. He was going nuts. He was losing his mind over there. I don't know what was going on. He got so fired up right before we started. He
fired up for
control
Patreon,
himself.
brother.
He was
Really
fired up
for
baby.
Patreon.
I'm telling y'all.
Just reading the script.
I'm telling you. It was
ABCs
great.
and the
Y'all will
LLCs,
see it soon.
you know, all that
Everybody will
stuff
see
had
it.
to
I'm
follow.
cutting this as a promo. That's a damn promo.
It
What
is
I
a
did is
promo.
I've watched
Oh
it
my
since, and I saw Blasi doing this. And I saw you were just like sitting like this the whole
It
time.
was great.
I covered y'all up. I read a script. Damn it, it's good. Y'all will be
It's
seeing
so
it. It's
good.
coming
Oh,
out
I was
soon.
popping. It was a pro W. It was a WCW early '90s, late '80s, just
Look,
flair in the Carolinas
it was so
promo. It
good.
was so good.
And
and
that
then,
goes back to time management, JR.
right. Yeah, you
We're
got
recording.
peaked at
We're
the right
rolling.
moment.
I'm
Peaked at the
feeling
right
it.
moment.
I'm gonna just
Yeah,
roll
get your
it.
mixture right. I love it. It was
Yeah,
perfect.
mixture's
So that
perfect.
rolled in. So Blasi took some of that energy, because he started off right before we started. He's like, "Oh man, I'm exhausted." We're all, and I kind of drug my ass in here too. We all kind of drug in. And then Blasi fed off your energy, and a minute later, Blasi's fired up, and he's going on about this and that, and he's so fired up telling the story and going in. Well, it's really not much to it. Boom, blah, it was
And
so
away
good.
we go. And
It was
away
so
we go.
good.
That's how
Yes,
our shows.
it was
Our
great.
shows always kind of just start and they're just gradual. It's kind of like a big old jet airliner getting off.
I got
the
pretty
run,
wound
you
up
know,
pretty quick,
and then it
yeah.
goes.
I was,
Yep.
as I would say, my ass end was about to pass my front end. You know what I mean?
You're
I
right.
just could not keep that thing under
You're
control.
right.
Just trying. My best
I'm
to
proud of
stay
you
calm.
for showing up to even do it, because that's a tough day. That's a tough
Oh, yeah.
day. You
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And look, everybody in the chat tonight, I'm sure those of you who've listened to the podcast, we'll do this in a little more formal and fun style. We got to wish Mr. Chad Blasi, the one-man posse, a happy damn
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Tomorrow.
Blasi.
Thank you,
Happy
fellas. That's
birthday.
very nice of y'all. I wonder why
Yeah,
y'all
bro.
remember that. That's great.
Somebody
man. Thank
please
you.
make him a nice.
We needed a
AI
reminder, and we
somebody
got
make
it.
him a nice AI generated New Guinea tribe doing a dance. A picture of him, please.
I'm gonna repost that thing tomorrow. Maybe somebody will see it. I think it's hilarious. If you just
I'll
watch it and
repost
really
that
look-
bitch. Don't just bring it
pretty good.
on. And
It's pretty good. It's pretty good because at first I thought it was just some AI crap, and I was like, wait, these dudes really did this. Names written on the chalkboard. It's not real.
I still think it is AI crap, but that's okay. What's up, Tigs Bits crew, and of course the Bubba Army from Mortar. What's happening?
Oh yeah, man.
You
Love to
damn
have-
right, Paul.
Hey, I was
wearing
cutting
a
that grass
JR
today,
a
and I got
JR
real
the
bored.
Handler shirt.
Oh yes, he is. He's got the handler shirt rocking. But dude,
Texas
you were talking about
Hillbilly.
music a while
Happy
ago.
birthday.
I had no damn music today, so I was just having to make my own little skits up in my mind. And for
Lord.
some reason, what stuck in my head, and I found myself on that lawnmower because I was going through some kind of thick stuff, getting a little nervous. Old booger box was gonna come out of there and come at me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I got thinking about one of those commercials that Bubba does on the podcast. That pride, passion, and performance.
It just comes in so loud.
Oh
dude.
yeah, dude, it freaks me out. I would turn, and I'd get down there towards, so I'd get real thick, and I'd just scream it: pride, passion, and performance. My mom was up there at the house. She came out one time and she did her arms up. I did it. I probably did that 40 times. I was just giggling at myself out there, cutting that, just going down the swamp. Pride, passion, and performance. It scares the hell out of me when he does it.
You were doing
I
it.
know,
You had
I love it.
pride. You were passionate. And you were performing. Getting that
That's
grass cut.
right.
That's it. I stayed in it.
Fair
I'd love to
business.
see how the sound engineer puts these. I want to see Seth or however they put those ads in, and like what levels that they recorded at, because it's certainly much louder than everything. But that's what it's designed to do. They do it on the
That's it.
radio too. I mean, that's radio stuff. That's
Yeah,
old
that
school radio stuff, man.
Yep.
It's cool, and it works. It works. If you
Bubba
guys-
usually does those as soon as the show ends. That he has the reads he has to do. and he'll do that like so the show ends at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, whatever. He'll do those then for all the stuff so they can lay it out. But he sits there by himself and does those. That's all I do now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. John
I thought y'all were frozen. Y'all were just
in the
sitting there. I
house.
was like, what? What are y'all listening to me? Hello? Hey, am I pixelated out there? I think these two guys are lying to me. I think JR's lying and Tigs
No,
is
you look
lying.
good today. Today
Oh,
you
do
look
I?
perfect. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
of
great
course.
today for whatever
Okay,
reason.
we're
Everybody
good.
looks good today. Everybody's
You
great.
look great.
good.
You got Jim Morrison over your shoulder.
do. He's glowing.
You know what's funny is that we use
wore
AI.
just whatever you could
we
find on the floor on your way to the studio to wear. Glad you dressed up for our audience. They appreciate
Grabbed
it.
him a Hanes on the way.
Hey, it's actually got a little. I think it's a V-neck almost.
This is just JR being heel today. I'm just ribbing Blasi.
Heel
over the
JR.
table. I'm just heel JR.
I love it.
I got
The
a Mark
problem,
Coleman
JR,
shirt,
is that it
Judgment
doesn't
Day right
take
here.
long
I'll wear that
for this
thing if you
energy
want
to
me
turn Tigs into a heel quick.
I know.
You can ask my group,
what?
my
The hell
group
with y'all.
text friends. I kind of can come in hot. I don't
Oh,
want
I
to come
do
in
too.
hot tonight. We're
I wanna-
mellow.
I don't
It's
either.
mellow
I don't
and
wanna-
chill.
I don't
It's
either. I
Blasi's
wanna-
birthday.
Yeah, it's Blasi's birthday. I want to be like a manager heel where I can be a little heel. I can't go all the way because I'm not the talent. I'm just the manager. I'm the valet. I just want to valet heel.
Yeah,
Just little shots as the big. the
It
big-
always
as
comes back to the wise
the,
man.
like
Yeah,
if
this
you're
shirt
King Kong
Paul
Bundy.
about it.
If you're
Extra,
King Kong
extra
Bundy, I'm Bobby
large.
the Brain Heenan. You know what I mean? That kind of deal. And
Mark Coleman.
Mark
Is that
Coleman,
better?
love it.
UFC 12 Judgment Day. I got
Absolutely.
the shirt from his mom. She
Good
gave
as it
to me.
gets.
Oh, that's
Yep.
a great wardrobe change.
It is.
There may
Hey,
be
Blasi-
another one before the
Blasi and I, speaking of legends, we text Dan Henderson the other night when we were hammered, or I actually called him trying to text him. Then I texted him, told him I was sorry I called him. But so, Hendo, if you're out
Called
there,
him.
if you ever see this, my bad, bro. I'm gonna holler at you when I'm sober, and we'll make that happen. Teaser: I'm trying to get a UFC guy on our podcast coming up soon.
Love
I'm
to.
working on it. I'm working on it.
Yes. I mean, look, there's so many things. We gave some teasers out last night. Beauty of that show, I took it, heard it. I knew we needed to clean up the very beginning of it, fix that, put it out, sent it this morning, and then bam, here we are talking about it. I haven't listened to the whole show except for what we did. I just knew how to start
Dude,
it and end it.
I never go back and listen to anything I ever did. Hardly ever. I mean, every now and then on something I'll see
I don't
or
have a
hear it on
choice.
something. Yeah,
I don't
to edit
over
it, you
here
have
on
to.
this
Yeah,
side.
you have to go
Yeah,
back
and
to
I'll-
it. And
But if I
did
was
it
in
first.
y'all's shoes, I'd probably
double-check
never
it.
listen to it either.
Well,
honestly.
when I used in the first podcast I ever did, I did the first, dozen episodes or so, and then I was like, yeah.
You were here. You just
was
did
there,
it.
yeah.
You remember what you talked about?
Yeah, I would write, and I still do this, but which we do this live, which I guess it's good to have that practice beforehand. But I would write notes because that's the one beauty people know about like television and movies and podcasting is you can edit. You record stuff.
Yeah.
You don't even have to record it in order. You can put the same shirt on you wore yesterday and the same hat and pretend it's the same day. I mean, it's make believe when you get to put it together, which is good in a lot of ways because you can fit time formats and make sure it's clean and palatable. But the live thing is a beast of its own. You know what I mean?
There's
'Cause
no
you don't.
editing.
So there's no like back in the day I'd write
But
down. Probably ought to drop where we called so and so and so and so and. Or
Yeah.
we didn't know this or didn't know that, or I don't want to look like an idiot. Don't make it look like I don't know all 50 states or something, So
You got, but I think it takes a little bit of courage to just put yourself out there and be cool with. I'm going to screw up multiple times,
it
pretty
does.
much in every show. I'm going to stumble over my words.
Yeah,
so
you're
is
gonna ask
everybody
me
else that's
something.
watching
Chad, you're
this.
the expert
So
in
is
this.
everybody.
Tell me- I just start sweating as soon as you say that. I'm not the expert in hardly anything. Like, why would you say that? I get real nervous. Usually it's something I can handle, though. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
How many
Yes.
holes are on a golf course? Okay, thank you. 18. I can handle that.
And thanks to Chat GPT, there's not,
it's kind of
we
nice
can
to
get
have
there
that.
now. There's 16 holes on a golf course because everybody knows you just get ripped on the last two. I don't
the
know.
first
That's-
16's the only ones that count.
That's in my book. 18 is definitely never counts. But I haven't played golf in a while, man. It's been a long time.
Dude, I hadn't played either. I do this now instead of play golf. This is my new hobby.
Blasi, have you ever
Yeah,
told the story?
we don't
Does
have time to play
does everybody on here know that at one time though Blasi was a competition long driver and competed with the
I don't think
best
they
in the
know
world?
that. I don't think they know that. And before we talk about this, you guys don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, do all that stuff, share it. Get it out there. If you're watching this on Twitter, retweet this sucker. If you're watching it on YouTube, share it. Take the link over to Facebook, share it, do whatever. But yes, Blasi, the one-man posse, can absolutely crush a golf ball.
He may be a little rusty
folks.
now, but if this is something if we get this clip back to Bubba and he calls him out on it, we can get Blasi back on the tee box. We might.
I can still move it okay. I can move it okay. I just don't play enough. And obviously, I get a little older each year, so you know what I mean. I ain't 25 anymore. Back when I could really move that thing. Yeah. And really, really create some crazy, crazy club head speed.
What's crazy is hearing him hit it, the sound of that damn golf club when it hits the ball. Because, I mean, folks, don't let him undersell this.
Yeah.
We're going to
get the facts out. Yeah, we're going to get the facts out here. All right, so, Blasi, where were you living and what years were you doing the competition long drive?
Man, it was so this was like early 2000s. And I was in Troy when I first started really getting into it. This is like 2000, 2001.
Was it because you saw it on ESPN, or is it just something?
Yeah, I'd been seeing it on ESPN. I always knew I could hit it a long way. And then there happened to be a local qualifier. The very first one I ever went to was in Panama City Beach. And there was a local. That's where it starts at the local level. See if you can go there. And I went there, my little stock ping driver. And I get there, and this guy named Chad Roberts was out measuring. He was out. And then this other guy, crushing Cliff Thrasher. He was an older guy. He was in the senior division. He was there running the event. And I was hitting, and then I watched Chad Roberts hit, and I was like, good God. You know what I mean? Like, that dude, I mean, just to me, it looked different than mine. Yeah. Of course, he comes running back up there, and he's like, who just got through hitting? And he wanted to know because there was a bunch of people there hitting. He said, who just got through hitting? I was like, I did. He's like, what are you hitting? And I told him, he was like, dude, I've never seen a golf ball bounce like that. He's like, that thing is hot, And I'm like, okay, thank you. You know what I mean? Whatever. Then I watch him hit. I'm like, dude, he's hitting it way past me, but he's not. You know what I mean? What I realized is I had a really low ball spin rate. I had a really good launch angle with a really good ball spin rate. That means it wasn't spinning like crazy backwards. So it was hitting. I mean, it's going on out there, but then when it's hitting, it's really taking off too.
It's like when you play Tiger Woods and you're just hitting that button.
Yeah, and it's the opposite of that.
That's what your ball does.
Yeah, I want the lower ball spin, not backwards, crazy backwards.
Right.
I want.
That's right.
Anyway, so I'm kind of getting off in the weeds, but anyway, he kind of got me pumped up. I was like, okay, I'm hitting it out there with him. He looks like he is hitting it over the moon. You know what I mean? But he was hitting it further than me. This dude was a monster.
He's probably has a different style.
Oh my God, he had freaking clubs at the time, close to 50-inch shafts, 3-degree loft drivers, which is just basically like a flat face. Like he was way advanced. You know what I mean? Here I am, a little stock ping driver. So, it gave me a little hope, and I did good at the qualifier. I actually advanced I moved on to the that year to the regionals, and which was in Laurel, Mississippi, and so I went over there and. Dude, I had a great run that year. It was my first year. I went over there still with I love that stock ping driver. I went over there with the stock ping driver. I mean, people were looking at me like I was an idiot, what is this guy doing?
I was going to ask, you didn't upgrade, so you stuck with the ping that year.
It felt so good, you know what I mean?
Love it.
And I even ripped the weight out of the back of it. I felt like I could hit better without it, I know more than ping does. But, so, yeah, dude, I'm over there, but I am absolutely, and this is back when everybody had to go through these qualifiers. So David Mobley, who's won World Long Drive champion, Sean the Beast Fister, all these legends of long driver there, and here I am. I'm just hands down the smallest guy there. But dude, next thing you know, this thing goes all day, all evening, into the night. We started with like 90 golfers. Dude, here I am standing there, into the night, top 15, still standing. Like, damn, who is this kid? All these sponsored people. They got 12 golf clubs. I still got my one ping driver.
Your modified ping.
And
that's awesome.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. This is where I got some dude played head games with me, and I don't even remember who it was. I wish it would. I'd call him out. He walked up to me. He said, "Man, let me see your club." And he took a little caliper thing and he put it on the face of it, and he said, "Oh yeah, your club face is done. It's crushed in." And I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Yeah, look, there should be a bevel on it." And he showed me an airspace between his tool and my club face. And dude, just right in my brain, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I've been hammering that. Why did I believe that? I mean, I believed it, and that was it. They took 8 to the World Finals that night. I finished like 9th or 10th, like right there. But just missed it, and then I did the same thing the next year. Missed
I
it
would
by
have thought
7
you'd have
yards.
been more mentally strong than let to get you down, especially coming from
I
where you
thought he
just
was
come
trying to
from.
help
It's his
me out.
first time. It's his,
I thought that was kinda messed
it was
up.
like that's like in
Kinda-
Happy Gilmore when Shooter takes him. Meet him.
Yeah.
Meet
Kinda
me at
like
the ninth
where-
green.
It's kind
And
of
he
like
gives
where
him that
Munn
wink.
and Nelson. Kind of like when Casey introduced me to Munn and Nelson and made me tell them all my backstory about a week before I pledged. Yeah, I thought they were trying to help me. You know what I mean?
That's what they thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas Hillbilly says, yeah, Blasi is the real Happy Gilmore. He is. I've watched him hit multiple. He is the real Happy Gilmore.
So,
he really is.
all right. So I want to get this full story out so we have it recorded because we've nipped on it. Well, this is good. This is going good. So, all right. So year got in your head year one, dropped out top 15 though. Regionals, still a good chance. Wish you knew this guy's name so we could call him out and bring him on the show. Let you give him the business. But so we're going into year two. You got a little more knowledge, a little more experience, and probably a little more drive now that you've had that success in the first season.
Yes, I did, man. So phenomenal. I really went to work. I ended up getting Bang golf equipment at the time. I got Bang and AccuFlex shafts. I loaded up with them, reached out to them. Those guys were willing to send me free equipment. So I didn't get money or anything, but I was getting equipment. So I started putting stuff together, right? Different length shafts. I'm playing around, trying to get longer. How long can I get to where there's a point where you start losing it because I'm not real big. And so I couldn't go real long, but I could go like an extra inch on the shaft of the driver. And some of these guys were going just crazy lengths, like 55-inch shafts and stuff, like trying to just like a brim.
And
like
what's
a brim
the
buster out
standard?
there.
What lengths is yours if there's a 55?
Like 45 and a half, I think is, or 44, something like that's a standard pro club, right? Sometimes even shorter, like 43 and a half or whatever. So I got it up to like 46 and a half, 47, somewhere in there. That's about as far as I could go, man. You know, I think Phil Mickelson plays like a 46, like, you know what I mean? Okay. So it was close to more like what a regular professional would play with, like a real golfer, not just a long drive guy. But dude, next year, this is where it gets weird. So I'm working on my timing, and I find sometimes I would just overswing. And in order to, what I figured out, if I would get in my nice leather flip-flops and hit, I would stay in control. I would finish balanced, and I wasn't over swinging it. Dude, I was just pounding it out there. I mean, literally, I'd hit 10 golf balls, 8 of them would be in the grid. The grid's 40 yards wide. Like, I was like, I'm going to
And what distance are you shooting at this point?
I mean, somewhere between depends on the day, the track, and all that. Let's just call it 350 to 380. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Hitting it out there on standard situation. And, dude, I get down to Tampa. And I'm in that quad. Get down there, get on the tee box, Now on the tee box, Chad Blasi, the one-man posse. No, they didn't say that, but they said, so they called me up on the tee box. I should have told them that. And then I get on they kept saying I had flip-flops on. And I was like, well, there's nothing in golf rules. Dude, the guy comes out and stops me and says I cannot hit him. I was like, there's a dude over there with a cut-off shirt on, literally. A cut-off sleeve shirt on. You know what I mean? There's a guy over there with some denim jeans on, cut off at the knees. And I can't
play in a
hockey
hockey jersey,
leather
playing with a hockey.
I can't play with these leather sandals on. He said, nope. I said, can I hit barefooted? He said, no. Now, this is just one guy making up his own rules because that's not true in golf, dude. It's not true. It's not even true in long drive. But I had to conform, and I had like 3 minutes. He said, you got 3 minutes to figure this out. So I had to go put tennis shoes on. So that screwed me up again there, too.
Oh, my God.
Now, that's the year. Now, that one I still hit okay, but, dude, I was just used to my flip-flop situation.
Right.
I lost by 7 yards that year from making it to the finals. The third year I did it, dude, I'm hammering it. I hit it 403 yards, the longest I ever hit it.
Jeez.
And, dude, I still missed out on the World Finals. You know what I mean? So it was fun, dude. After that, I just kind of.
You hit it 403?
Yeah, in a competition. Yes, I did.
Damn, that's 1,200 feet. That's 1,209 feet, if we're going to be exact. That's insane.
It was a tote.
What's the distances that beat you, Blasi? How much farther are they hitting it?
Dude, it was a real hot track out there. You know what I mean? Like real bounce. It was just who's getting the better bounce. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't much. Like literally like 410, 412, something like that ended up. Just a couple of those in there. But I won one year in Tampa. Beat a big guy. What was his name? I can't think of his name. He's been in the top 5 several times. I beat him in a local qualifier in Tampa one time. But then in the regional, which also was in Tampa. No, it's actually south of Tampa. I stayed in Tampa. And that's the one where I got disqualified. Or not disqualified, but they told me I couldn't hit my flip-flops. So, you know what? I just was like, man, I'm kind of done with this game.
Yeah,
you know
you kind of
it's
reached
fun.
the pinnacle of the sport.
And they started making it more difficult to get in. They started giving all these exemptions, and it started almost being like the PGA Tour. Like, man, it's just real hard. instead of making everybody go through it, they just made a few people go through it. You know what I mean? And most people are exempted all the way to the World Finals, and it was real difficult. It just came more
I
difficult.
bet with
You
your
had to
media
kind of travel the
stat-
country to make
I
it.
bet your status in the media now, we could get you back up on the charts pretty good, pretty quick.
Hey, that senior division, I could go handle
That's
that
what I'm
thing
Hey,
down.
thinking.
look, and
Yeah.
what I'm thinking is, what little bit you've lost to youth and
Yeah.
strength, with a little strength there probably, but I mean, you're still strong as a bull because you keep yourself up. You always did. But now you're smarter, and if you could get flexible and you could figure out those angles a little tighter and a little this and be a little more focused probably than you were, 20 years ago, you might even make up for it and then some, give yourself
right.
just enough and be an even crazier story. And if you do, you got to wear your flip-flops. You got to get the prove beforehand, and may even wear a hockey jersey, a Rougarou hockey jersey in honor of
There you
Happy
go.
Gilmore.
Great, sponsored by Rougarou, flip-flops.
And,
Here it
and,
comes.
and
Watch
especially
out,
if it was a
boys.
Tampa guy that hosed you, we'll get Bubba on the radio to get the army out there to find out who
we
this
gotta
guy
figure
was,
out who
That
this
is, yeah.
jackass is. I mean,
and,
I think
and then
that's
make
important.
him redo it and let him try to compete with you. And when you smoke, if you win, you get in the national competition as a shoe-in.
I like it. I
Pay
think
off
it's a great
grandma's
idea.
house.
Yeah, it's a great idea, man.
Or they get Gene Lasker. There's no in between.
Gene Lasker, throw him in the oven
Yeah.
once we catch him.
In a heartbeat.
But that's
he wouldn't
awesome.
even
Well-
think twice about it.
And I was around when I remember when you were going through all that, but I didn't know. That's cool to hear the story in chronological order like that, to put it all
Yes.
together like in a format where you could see it all
Yeah,
laying
I
out in
don't-
front of you.
I don't think we've ever completely laid it out at any point in this entire podcast. Maybe in Florida, man, we touched on it a couple years ago when we did this. But yeah, I'm glad to have that too. We
Yeah,
we
no, it
needed
was-
that. That
it was
needed to be
fun, man.
documented.
It was fun, and I waited.
It was
I
fun
quit doing
competing
it for
with
like 2
world-class
years.
athletes like it was nothing, and I just just showed up from the house.
It was cool, man.
With his Bing.
There's a lot of cool people in that group. Like there were several of those guys.
Characters, I bet.
Hardcore. What was his name? Hardcore Charles Hartley. Hardcore and Chad Roberts and Crushing Cliff Thrasher. Dude, those three guys and Cliff, legend in the sport, and Chad Roberts he would always win the home run derby out there. But they had a fence sitting out there at like 360. You had to hit it, not just hit it there. You had to hit it in the air, or 380, whatever it was, because he could hit it so high and just carry it so far. And he would always win that. And Charles Hartley was hardcore. He got into a bad car accident, and but before that, dude, he was just a beast, But those dudes, I went out with them drinking and talking.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like it
Well,
almost felt like Field of Dreams type deal. You know what I mean? It's like you know
Yeah.
all these names, and now you get
Yeah.
to hang out with them. And
Well, that's what I was going to
was
say.
cool.
Those type sports like that, and this is no knock on them by any means
Yeah.
because they're all sports, but the different level sports and the different summer team and just what level they're at, so you can have that access to be around them that close. But like those guys, like pro pool players, like pro bowlers. There's some characters in those bunches. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? When you see the clips and videos of these guys and gals, man, there are some characters in all sports, obviously, but some of those sports for sure. I can only imagine. That might
Dude.
be my YouTube dive tonight, is to go look up.
Love
Oh
Those
no,
rock guys are
I've got
insane,
one
dude.
on my mind right
They're
now that
all
I'm
whacked
pulling
out.
up. Y'all
They're-
keep
They're
talking.
great. Yeah,
Remember
they're just
that-
like bowling on steroids. You know?
Yeah.
It's something
I
else.
love it.
Yeah.
Well, now a new one is the cornhole. Cornhole is as big as anything
It
now,
is.
and video games. That's a new one that's huge. What do you call it? Drone racing and things like that. There's characters in all of those now. You know.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
there
make
is.
movies. They make spoofy movies about that kind of stuff because it's funny and it's true.
It is. It's all kind of wild stuff out there, man.
Or did you ever do any of the other of those sports, Blasi? Were you good at pool, bowling, and those type sports? Throwing darts?
Man, I wasn't I was okay at pool because growing up, that's all I did. I'd hang out at an old pool hall, and then I
That's
would
the one I
play
was
golf
thinking about.
during the day. Oh yeah, dude, that's freaking awesome. That is
Y'all ready?
Yeah,
Bring it.
go on, bring it. You don't have the audio?
Who's the man? I am. Pete Weber.
That's great.
Pete Weber, the greatest, dude.
Legend.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it.
That's some
Who do
pimp
you think
stuff
you
there.
are? I am. It's just the best.
Oh
So
man.
good. So
Yeah,
pretty
dude.
good at pool, Blasi. Not so much darts, bowling.
That was pool. I'd play pool at night, hang out in the pool hall with all these pool sharks and watch them and learn. Had that Steve Mizrax Learn from the Best. Ordered that VCR tape, dude. Learn more about shooting pool than you could ever learn anywhere.
How many times did you watch The Color of Money?
Oh my God, dude, Paul Newman. Oh man, what a movie.
Hey,
dude.
and I tell you, and as much as I love that, when I became an adult and really got into movies that I didn't see as a kid because they were before my time, when I finally saw The Hustler with Jackie Gleason, I mean, dude, what a movie! It's kind of like because we thought Color of Money was so good. Then you go back and watch that. Well, now I can see why old timers probably thought Color of Money sucked because I mean the Hustler was basically perfect, but
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, speaking of Paul Newman had a little interaction at what we talked about it on the show last night, the Louisiana Political Hall of Fame. They filmed the movie Blaze, which Paul Newman played Earl K. Long in that movie, and it was filmed there in Winfield, Louisiana, the home of Huey P. Long and all of that.
Wow.
They had this memorabilia. They had this big sign in there that was signed by everybody that was part of the cast, including Paul Newman, and then they had just a lot of autographs on stuff while they were in town. But a lot of the things that were around back then, like these old bars that Earl K. Long would go to and all, they were still intact. They were still there when they filmed this in the late 80s, early 90s, late 80s, I believe is when they filmed it. But all that stuff was still there. They all stayed there in Winfield. They had this little Mexican restaurant that they all would hang out at. Like they just the whole town of Winfield turned into a movie set.
Right.
I mean,
Oh wow, that's so
cool.
cool.
I was a kid when this was happening, but I mean, you've got freaking Paul Newman just chilling in your town,
dude.
How amazing!
When there's a y'all remember the movie Slapshot, the hockey movie with Paul Newman in it.
Yep.
So at Johnstown, PA is where that's filmed, and we've played there a few times in that same building, the War Memorial there in Johnstown. And you go to the little bar right around the corner from the venue, and there's still the picture of Paul Newman and his plaid pants. I mean, same thing. I can imagine it was the same thing there. I bet they took over the town, were there for months filming, and there's a picture of him at the bar where so they just hung out at the local places, and it was a lot more chill back then too.
Most definitely. No social media and all of that stuff. They laid sidewalks.
Cell phones. Hey, come over here real quick. He's right here.
Yeah, exactly. They had like a lot of the movie crew and all the people that were part of that. They built a sidewalk while they were there, and they all signed it and did all that stuff.
Perfect.
I don't know if there's a Paul Newman signature in that. I didn't stick around. I forgot to ask, and I didn't look. But one of the coolest things, I didn't mention this on the show last night, that I came home with, totally just unbelievable. They have them here. I kind of don't even want to tell people about this, but they have the original. Huey P. Long wrote a book called Every Man a King, and it's his autobiography. It's the autobiography of Huey P. Long. Well, he had several of the first editions, like the very first editions were shipped to his house or shipped to New Orleans, and they still have them in that museum. They have them for sale with a certificate of authenticity.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it is the old 1933. Like you can feel the pages.
Wow.
They're thicker, just the texture and all. You can see there's some wormholes where before they treated it, but they're just
Pretty
where
expensive?
$25.
What?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't
I gotta
say
have
that.
one.
Wow. Are you
I'm
serious?
considering going back up there and buying all of them.
Yeah, you should just corner the market.
Yeah, and then sell them.
And then they don't tell you that he's got a whole warehouse full of them.
750 each.
No, but I mean, it
only.
comes with an actual certificate of
Dude, that's
authenticity.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, they still, there was one trunk that they told us about. They showed us there was still a trunk. There's probably 50 or 60 books in that deal. They were
And
more.
that's
They weren't.
if you go we'll talk to you about it because I'd like to get that. That would be a cool gift for like my father-in-law, or
man.
something to get my nephews to have to put in their libraries when they grow up.
Almost
that
walked
kind of
out
thing.
without it too. Like I looked at it and I don't.
would've been
I'm
nice.
If it was
not a
$250,
person
I'd have
that's
thought about
attracted
it,
to
but-
books, but I see a book from 1930, and
I
it's
love
still
cool
like I'm like, is this original? Yes,
Yeah.
this is his first run, and it comes with a what?
Oh, I would.
We were in the truck leaving, and my wife Tammy's like, "I'm getting you that book. You
Awesome.
don't
Good
ever
job,
want
T.
anything. Like I'm going
awesome.
back down." I went, "All right, go get it. Go get the
Yeah,
book."
good job, Tammy.
I do
Yeah,
want it.
that-
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I gotta have one. I love to, like I say, even if I don't read the whole thing, man, I just like having it. I love touching it, looking at it. It's cool.
Yeah,
And
I've
they-
read the book. Actually, I wrote a term.
I wanna read it.
Yeah, wrote a term paper on Huey P. Long. I've read that book. I
a lot
mean,
better chance of reading it if you got it than if you don't. You know?
I
They
might
got-
read it
You
again
think they
just
got it
to
on-
say I read
on
an
tape,
original.
like on CD or digital copy of that.
I don't
That's
think the
only way I could-
Kingfish had. I don't think
I
he
can't
dropped
read.
an autobiography. I don't think he dropped it. I don't think he voices his. Just imagine if he did. He would have. I mean, I promise you, that cat would have been all over this stuff. He would have been as
I've
big
tried
of
to
a
listen-
person there as
Oh
there's ever
God,
been.
don't you know it? Well, I've tried to listen to some Hemingway books on audio, and it'll be some famous person narrating it, or talking it out. But I still, in my mind, I want to hear Hemingway's voice. So, because when I
Yes.
read it, I talk in his voice. So, it's like it kind of throws me off. But Hemingway obviously didn't record, read all of his books to record like that. Some, but
Right.
not all.
Kind of like that Fauci book by RFK Jr.
Hey.
Thank God RFK Jr. doesn't read it.
Oh wow, that would be tough.
Hey, the
Y'all know
opposite
what
of
I'm
that
talking
is
about.
one that you can get that is one of my all-time favorite books. While we're talking about books, is Charlie Daniels' "Let's All Make the Day Count."
And he
great book.
He narrates it.
This is actually his quotes, but where's his other? Oh, there it is. This one he narrates, and you can get it on audiobooks.
Oh.
Never look at the empty seats by Charlie Daniels. It's his
Okay.
autobiography, and he reads it. It's Charlie's voice. It's just perfect.
Oh, that's-
So-
That I'm
yeah, I need
interested
to check
in.
that. I'm fixing to write that.
Yeah.
What's
I'd rather
what's it
listen
called
to
again?
that than
Check
read it,
out.
honestly.
Yeah, I did both, but yeah, listening to him tell it's even better because it's his voice. And I got this on. I just do the Audible thing, and I'll sign up
Yeah.
and get a couple credits, and then cancel it, and then
I do the
when
same
I-
thing.
You know what I mean?
If you hang on tight, they'll give you a deal, and they'll be like, "You can
What's
join
the name
in."
of that? I see it's just Charlie Daniels. What's the
Charlie
name of that
Daniels.
book?
Never look at the empty
Never
seats.
look at the empty seats. That's right. Pride, passion, and performance.
He says, Charlie says, never look at the empty seats because that's not who you're worried about. You're worried about the people who did show up to see you work.
That's it. You're exactly
Bubba
right,
Fan
it is.
69 says he'd love a Bubba audiobook. Yeah. Could you imagine this? And he's telling the Gawker story. He's already told it. The audiobook is out there. He just needs to piece his show together and to form it into a book. It's there. He's dropped it. Everything. There's no secrets with Bubba. That's what's so appealing about it.
Bubba
But yeah,
doing the
I mean,
voiceover
we
on
got to have
books. That'd
him.
be great, wouldn't it?
We got to have him read his own autobiography, and that's what's so good about like good old JR's
Yep.
autobiography, that he's the narrator in it. I just prefer to hear the person
Yeah.
narrate their book, unless
Because
you're
when you read
RFK
it-
Jr. That's no knock on RFK Jr. I
Right.
like RFK Jr., but I couldn't listen to a 27-hour book with him narrating
Yeah.
it, which I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Fauci's a war
Because when you
criminal.
read in a book, you read it in their voice, or if it's like a fiction book, you read it in the voice of the person you think the character is. You're creating the character in your head.
That's right.
So to read somebody's life story, you're going to probably read it in their voice. So
Yes.
hear it in their voice is super cool.
Bubba Fan says, did you ever hear the Chris Jericho interview where Chris was using Bubba's studios to record his book? Have not.
Have not.
But I'm all about the walls of Jericho, brother. So I
The
want
American
to
Lion.
check that out.
I watched Jericho wrestle when he was
Yes.
first in WCW as the American Lion. I remember that back in the day. Yep.
the American Lion. Huh?
Always been a huge fan of
Yep,
Jericho.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
And his band
Y2J.
Fozzy got a rock band. I mean, he's got.
They kick
he's got-
ass. They're
yeah,
good.
kick-ass rock
He's
band.
good.
Yeah, Fozzy's good.
He's just a hell of an entertainer. He can
Yep.
do it all. He
Yep.
he can do it all.
And he put the time in, man. He's been working for a long time. I mean, and some big,
For
big
sure.
angles. Paul Rogers like Slapshot. Yeah, I do
Yep,
too,
I
man.
love
What a great
Slapshot.
movie. I'm trying to listen to the effing
Oh.
song.
Yeah, Paul's right. Waylon Jennings' autobiography is on
Ooh.
Audible, and he narrates it.
Yep.
Damn right it is. It's also on Spotify. Something that Spotify, here you go for free, Spotify. They have audiobooks now very similarly to the way Audible is. There's not the newest and latest, but some of those older books, like Waylon Jennings, you can listen to it on Spotify now.
Hey, I found somebody turned me on to, it was actually my buddy Mike Diamond turned me on to a random one the other day that's on Apple, like Apple Music, like just like you would download a song, but you can find this audiobook. It's David Allan Coe. It's called Whoopsie Daisy. And it's basically his autobiography that he's done a couple of them, but this one's probably from like the early 90s. And it's only about, I think it's an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's 2 parts, so it's like 3 or 4 hours tops, the whole thing. But it's called Whoopsie Daisy. It's good, and it's him. It's David Allan Coe.
Wow.
It's like, but it's put like it was recorded like a CD, like you got the CD and recorded it and put it out.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Oh,
I forgot we talked about David Allan Coe not too long ago, and I completely that night I was so worn out it kind of just flew over my head.
Yeah.
But I had a neighbor, or not a neighbor, I had a friend that tailgates at LSU, and one of my best friend Colby Cook from high school and all, he tailgates with them. So I go out there, and there's this old eagle, this old silver eagle sitting out there, and I'm like, man, that thing's old and awesome. Well, it's our boys. It's Bears. It's our buddy Bears bus. Guess whose bus that was? That was David Allan Coe's tour bus in 1983, dude.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
So can you imagine?
Wow.
And it was untouched. Original everything. Original couch, bed. It's like
my God.
he had mirrors everywhere in that thing. Everywhere.
He's an odd cat. Listen to that book, Whoopsie Daisy. Check that out on Apple Music or wherever you find it. That's worth listening.
I got
it's
to
not that
now.
long.
DAC.
Yeah, that's a good
That's how he
one.
signs it all, ain't it? DAC on his text.
DAC.
That's so good.
Even when he said, you told us that. Even when he sends a text, he still has to, just in
DAC.
case you didn't know who this was from.
Yeah, DAC.
The title at the top of your phone doesn't say David Allan Coe, because I'm pretty sure that most people would put that in their phone if you had his number. Like,
right.
look who calling me. You know,
You're right.
That's right. That's like the day I got Bubba the Love Sponge's number. I had put. You think I'd put anything else but Bubba the Love Sponge up there? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's no confusion when I get a text from him.
You didn't go BTSL on that.
You
thing.
don't have
You
to do all
spelled
that.
it the whole way out.
You don't have to do that. Bubba. There you are.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because it messes you up if you try to be clever, you try to be cute and put some initials down or something, and then you don't remember who it was forever, and you're like, I had their number. Yeah, I had it under something stupid.
I put
It's your
in the
phone, dude. If somebody
description-
gets in your phone, you lock your phone up. You know what I mean? That's your own fault.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just had to put numbers in there. you know?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
exactly right.
I mean, we don't have the Rolodex that JR has, obviously. You know.
Not by a long shot.
But you know whose phone number I did have for a long time, and it's still in there. I don't know if it's still the same. Nick
Who's
Saban.
that?
I had Nick Saban's cell number for years.
Say Bear.
Remember whenever I had that quarterback for Texas number? I don't remember his name now. That's how irrelevant he was.
Wow.
Vince Young.
Probably listening,
No.
thinking, thanks,
It's way
man.
before
Thanks for
that.
putting me over.
No, it was
Yeah.
it was in 2019.
Oh, very recent. You had his. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
when you
it
were
was
at the
at
house.
I was at your house. Yes,
That's
was,
right.
and we texted him that
Yes.
day. Sam Eller, that's his name.
Yeah,
Sam
that's
Eller. Yeah,
That's fine.
he hadn't
Forgot
ended
about
up. He did what I thought he would do. Nothing. Anyhow, horns down, baby.
Oh my God. That's freaking.
Yeah, they're
hilarious.
welcome to the SEC,
Yeah, it's
assholes.
going to be a
Hey, did-
interesting football season this year for sure. We got a finals game on to the game. I was just looking.
we
Did
do.
the finals
We do.
tip
Now,
off
yeah,
yet?
I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
saw
Let's
some
see if
Tigs
a
Bits
little
posts
this
talking
is
about the NBA
live.
Finals. I wasn't even aware that it started tonight. I knew that
Yeah,
Dallas and Boston are playing, and I understand, the whole Kyrie
Well,
Irving
look,
situation.
I mean, that's
and-
I'm just
and all that.
taking one from the Bubba the Love Sponge deal. What's the hottest topic right now? I knew
There
we're
we
live
go.
at
He's
7
genius.
p.m. It's the NBA Finals.
Good
It's
idea.
20-15. Boston's up early first quarter, about halfway through the first quarter. There's your update.
There we go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wanted to tell a couple of things last night when we did this show. Kind of we ended it, and I'm like, hey, I have a bunch of notes of stuff that we never even got.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a great show again.
We'll see y'all next
were
week.
you saying
enjoyed it.
something?
See y'all.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Pride,
that's my
passion,
cue.
and performance. Got to go into commercial. Sorry about that.
Don't worry,
Go ahead.
I'm not sabotaging it like I did with my Patreon plug. By the way, you should go check out our Patreon, Tigs Bits. There is exclusive content, and our boy Paul Rogers can tell you we dropped stuff that's still not been dropped. Like there's stuff over there that probably will never see light of day. Things over there that are kind of fun. Anyhow, I digress. I saw yesterday, I was at a local gym working out with my son.
Yeah.
It's the summer. He's starting football here in about a month and a half. He wants to get in good shape. We've rejoined the gym, and we're working on some stuff, So we've been having fun. But I ran into my old pal, Richard Condon. You guys don't know him, but he's basically Baton Rouge's version of Bubba the Love Sponge. It ain't even close. Like, he for real is. He was a shock jock in the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, but a local regional shock jock, that one of those guys. JR, you've had to do media stuff with these guys, and he still has a show on 98.1. It's a flagship station of LSU. It's a big FM station, rock station here in Baton Rouge, huge reach, and he still has Condon Uncensored in the mornings. He goes crazy. I mean, he is polarizing to say the least. But he and I used to work together when I worked at Hogan Hardwoods, Blasi. So, so we worked here in Baton Rouge, not whenever I lived over there, but just hilarious dude. He's funny. His radio personality is polar opposite of how he is actually in real life. Like what you see is what you get from us. Like this is who we are. He is a little bit more controversial and edgy and stuff. But he still has very strong opinions. Anyhow, I saw him yesterday, and he gave us high praise about our show, our chemistry, how well we work together, all of that stuff, all the stuff you'd want to hear. He doesn't throw compliments out like that. Like, that doesn't just...
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome,
he
man.
doesn't just say this kind of stuff at all. In fact, to even hear him say something positive was, like, mind-blowing. But it really meant something to me. I wanted to share that with you guys last night. He's a Baton Rouge legend. You love him,
cool.
you hate him.
That's super
He's
cool.
but he's a legend. No one can deny
Thank you,
that.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So
that's
he's been
awesome.
listening. He's
Appreciate
been
the
checking us
compliments
out,
there.
man. There's
Yeah,
more
that's-
people.
Yeah,
more
let's
people
have him
than we
on.
know.
If he ever tell him to jump on and give us 10 minutes, chop it up.
I'm
with
going
us
to see him
sometime. I love to meet
often. That's what I told him, because I used to see him all the time. I work out at the YMCA, and our gym that we both used to work out at closed. And once COVID hit, I just dropped my gym membership because it wasn't open for a while, and I just started walking from my house every day. Well, Riley wanting to do this. I'm like, hell yeah, let's get back in the gym. I love it. I love running on one of those $10,000 ellipticals that I will never have at my house.
Exactly,
I love ellipticals. So, bam, I'm back in the gym. I'm
Boom,
going to get
back in the
svelte
gym.
before the end of this summer.
Dude, I need to
boys.
send y'all some pictures of our gym. They just added
At Hammock Bay?
$200,000. Dude, you will not believe it. They just added $200,000 worth of equipment, and
Wow. It
to
was
an already
nice
dude.
15 years ago.
And that's not. They built that was the old gym. They closed that down, turned that into a community center, and we built one 5,000 square foot.
What?
Now the 5,000 square foot, when they opened up the old gym and made it more of a cardio room and more machine stuff. This other room right now, dude, I'll put this up against any gym in any community subdivision on the planet. It is absolutely
5,000 square foot gym?
We've got 7,500 square feet of gym in our neighborhood between the two gyms. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, there's no excuse anymore. They've got everything.
No.
I like some of the machine stuff they have now. It's the weight loaded stuff too, but really nice weight loaded stuff. So it's good. And then they got some good cable crossover machines, which I hadn't had.
Do you have
sauna,
sauna, steam room, pool, any of that stuff, fun stuff?
Nah, yeah, this isn't the executive place, right? You know what I mean? Now, we've got swimming pools. We got 5 swimming pools out back.
amazing
Yes, there's
swimming
plenty of swimming
pools.
pools. But you know what we need is I'd love to have a sauna or steam room. And we don't have that. It's kind of strange.
That's
we got
my
nice
go-to.
showers and all that other stuff. You know what I mean?
When I went to my favorite of all time was downtown Y in Nashville, which was great. I mean, I met all kinds of cool people
They
there
had a
back then.
steam room.
It had the steam room, the sauna, the every kind of court you could imagine. The Olympics, the long lap pool. All on the roof had a pool. They had hot tubs. They didn't have this was before the cold plunge era, but I'm sure they have those now. But a real up gym to me is like, because I like to work out and play ball. I like it all really. I need a pool. I need a basketball court. I need weight room. I'd like in a sauna and a steam room, or at least one of the two, preferably both, so you can alternate, and then a pool to get in to cool off. And then, ideally, and then now with the cold plunge thing, that's a nice option for people too. And I know, like we played the Atmore, the casino up in Atmore recently, and their workout facilities, they have the cold plunge next to like the steam room and stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool.
my Y doesn't. My Y has a pool. It has a lap pool. It has a regular swimming pool too. Summer camps are going on though right now, so like I can't. Like it's not usable. It's just
certain
on the
times
weekends
and all that. Do they provide you with towels at your gym?
They don't. No,
most don't. Downtown Y always had all
Y.
the stacks. There was a guy just steadily folding these mounds of on this table of towels.
It's a full-time job just for that guy.
Yes, just loading the bins up, taking them and doing like.
Yeah,
but you could use as many as you wanted.
When I lived there,
that's nice though. I love it. Like working out in a hotel gym. They have the towels there. They have the water. The machine actually works. Like a rare occurrence when this actually all happens, but it's happened to me lately. It's worked out really good. I love that.
Same. Mine here, we have the Bodenhammer Center here in Gulf Shores where I live. Now, it's not, we don't have HOA here, so it's not, you have to pay, but it's only like $300 a year for couple, so
that's fantastic.
That's not bad at all.
I mean, I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd do that right now. And the Y ain't expensive.
It's got a nice pool, indoor pool, and it's not heated, but it usually stays a good temperature. And then it's got a rock wall on one side you can climb and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow,
that's
cool.
Fancy. Yeah, but it does. It has the sauna only, not steam room. And it doesn't have a cold plunge, but it's got the basketball court. It's got a lot of tennis courts, outdoor stuff. But big weight room. They just did a $2 million upgrade. And actually, going back to the downtown Y Nashville, before I left, right at the end when I was living in Nashville in probably 2014, 15. They had done like a $20-something million remodel on that downtown and made it even more sweet than it was before. A lot of upgrades on it, but but a nice gym is nice to have. But Blasi's, but yours is part of your HOA, so you don't even have to pay. You just
Absolutely,
go to this gym.
it's all included.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Some people complain. I've been here for a long time. This neighborhood, watch it grow and watch it, just prosper. And Brantley was here when the first portion
that
of those
gym got me
were here.
started on a weight loss journey. I think I'd be dead right now if it wasn't for that gym.
And it's right there.
I'll be honest
it's right here. There's no excuse not to go. I'm leaving the neighborhood. I drive by it. It's right there. Just pull in there.
Right.
And so, no, it's great to have. Dude, listen, our HOA dues are unbelievable. We pay $162 a month. And that includes.
That hasn't gone up that much.
It has not. Because, his goal was to try to keep it at 100. Just unfortunately, it's impossible today with this economy, right? But it's 162. That includes DirecTV and all your HOA dues, which includes all the amenities, the gym and the pools and the tennis courts and the pickleball courts and the basketball courts and the, just the whole neighborhood. There's all kind of stuff right here. So, dude, you can't beat it. It's not the best deal. I mean, that DirecTV package is $130 by itself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow. So everybody now they quit that crappy ass cable company that was there. What was that joke of a company.
Yeah.
So now everybody they provide the satellite, the little dishes and everything.
Dude, they kept into the hardwired system, so it's DirecTV, but you don't have satellites on your house.
It's in
I love it.
They've got it. So I don't even understand how they do it. It's all just a main center, and then they distribute.
Somebody
it out
told
to us.
Jay, "Look, we gotta get this thing fixed, man. There's too many people out here." It was whenever I lived there, Handler. There was probably I'd say less than 200 people out there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wouldn't you say 200 occupied houses?
Probably
Probably less than
houses.
that. Probably 100.
Maybe 250 people. Total.
Maybe.
Like, you know
Maybe
what I mean?
total.
3 or 4.
And there's
house.
what would you say is out there now? 10,000.
Oh, dude, the population's it's close to that. Yeah, it's like I'm gonna say like 8,500. Yeah, in this neighborhood. Wow. Yeah. It's it's still growing. Yeah.
Paul says he's been exercising as much as possible without access to a gym. Paul, been seeing what you've been doing online, brother. You keep that up, dude.
Yeah.
He's
you do
eating
so much,
right,
dude, right there
working
in the
out.
square foot area, dude. Push ups, sit ups,
Hey,
doing a
and
little
dude,
running, walking,
Paul,
moving,
check
wiggling. Just keep on wiggling. That's what I tell
Yeah.
people. Just don't stop, man. Just
and
don't
check
stop.
out those. There's DDPY workouts on there too, Paul.
Yes.
Check those out.
Yes.
DDPY. You can find some on YouTube, some different stuff. That's good stuff to do. You can
I'm
download
jumping
the
back
app.
into I'm going to jump back into DDPY. I'm working out with Riley. I'm trying to teach him some of the things that he's going to learn playing football. So I'm just going and working out on the elliptical and pumping a little on some. They have these cool machines that I have to get this wristband for, but it's all like machines, and it walks you through it, and you go these slow. It's kind of like you're playing a game.
Oh, it's a
which
resistance.
I've watched a couple of people. I've never done one of those, so I'm going to do some of that. That looks kind of fun, you know. Just so
Hey, dude,
I may
mean,
end up
anything.
just getting flat out ripped by the end of this deal. Who
Will be.
knows?
You just be Hey, speaking of Rip,
svelte.
Brantley, listen. Since it's my birthday, I want y'all to keep talking for a minute. If I were to send you a picture, text it to you, could you get that off your phone, get it into here, and be able to pull it up in a few minutes?
I would have to leave the here because my phone is the
Your phone's
camera.
your camera.
Oh, there's your teaser for
Is
next
there
week's show,
anywhere
y'all.
I can send it? No, I want to. Is there anywhere I can?
You
send
could email it to me, maybe.
at tigsbits.com?
Could you email it to me?
I mean, Tigsbits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tigsbits@gmail.com.
Give me a second. I'm gonna do something real quick.
All
This
right.
will be
Well,
my
I've
birthday.
got a few
All
minutes
right.
left. I'm gonna have to bounce for too long, boys. I saw my man Smokey Otis down at the Sloop a minute ago when I went to get me a chimichanga, and he's playing 7 to 9 or 7 to 10 tonight. So, and he said his daughter's playing with tonight. So I'm gonna get up and go down there and watch
yeah.
them
Well,
play.
I'm kind of wish I.
And Sharice left, and when I came into podcast, Sharice got her bike out of the back house and took off. Said she was going to the brewery. So my wife's boys, I'm leaving home tomorrow. My wife's out drinking, so we're going to have to wrap this up here in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I understood.
Or she's out visiting. I shouldn't say that. I don't know if she's drinking or not. Her friend, she's going to see her friend Autumn, so I don't know if she's having
Maybe
beers or
just
not.
having like a little glass of
Tell you
wine
this,
or
the Sloop
something,
though,
you know?
their specials, they got me on their Facebook post today. I was scrolling through and they put their daily lunch or their daily food specials. Today was like a tuna dip, a swamp soup, a chimichanga, a chicken chimichanga with beans and rice is what I went with, and then they had like fish and chips, like 3 pieces of cod and house fries. And coleslaw, and I was like, man, I told Sharice we were going to cook. We cooked last 2 nights, and I was like, let's just go to the Sloop. I don't even want to deal with it. They got good options. Let's just go down there and support the local business. You know what I mean? And then I saw my buddy
It's a lot.
Smokey Otis, entertainer from down here, who's great, man. I love his stuff.
What kind of music Smokey Otis play?
Man, he does all kinds of stuff, anywhere from like rock and roll, like the classics to, I mean, he can cover a lot of ground. He's got that smoky voice like you'd think, Smokey Otis, and he plays guitar, and he's awesome. And Chicago Bob, his drummer, was there with him tonight, so I've never seen him do a
What a name.
2-piece thing like that. So I was like, I got to get back down there and catch a piece of that. But I still got to pack. Already checked in my flight, and I got to stop by a job tomorrow on my way out of town. I got to fly to Nebraska tomorrow to do a show.
Yeah, I
Saturday,
was going to ask where's
Off
it at
to,
this weekend?
No, not Nebraska. Sorry, that's next week. This week I'm going to Goodhue, Minnesota. Going to the Goodhue
Minnesota.
Volksfest Country Festival up in Minnesota. So I think I'm actually going to
Man, the
Nashville,
weather ought to
jump
be-
on the band bus.
Weather ought to be all right up there for that. You know, it's early. It's June, so hopefully not too crazy hot.
Yeah, hopefully no rain. You know, we can get the show in. And
Do y'all, if it rains, so I saw this is a question I do have for you, because I saw this clip the other day of Metallica, a huge Metallica guy. They're playing this show in Germany, and it's storming. It's rain. It wasn't, the storm had passed, you know, it was just lightning off in the distance, but it was still raining. Can they play? And they were playing with all their instruments, the drums, like when they would hit the cymbal, it was crashing off and all. Like, I mean, can they play all those instruments in rain?
yeah, to an extent,
can?
yeah. The thing with storms is wind rating and lightning. If lightning's within X amount of miles, whatever the insurance policy is on the building and the crowd and the audience, you have to do certain things. If it's within 7 miles or 5 miles, you have to evacuate, wait 30 minutes till the last strike, and then bring everybody back. Or if the wind rating is above, if the wind is going to be more than the stage and the awning and all that's rated for, then
You got to go. Well, how did Metallica they just kept
Well, that's what
rolling
we were
in that
saying.
storm, dude.
Well, it must, and it could be a different country. I don't know.
They were in
could have said-
Germany.
They were in
could have said-
Germany.
They could have said, "We'll take the liability if something happens," or it could have been there was no lightning and the wind was. If it's just rain, they'll play. Yeah, you can play in rain all day.
There was
And
lightning
but
overhead
until you ruin
See.
gear, until gear starts malfunctioning. Like you'll have to immediately get all that gear clean. You're going to ruin some mics. You're going to get some stuff wet. You're going to have to be doing some moisture mitigation as soon as the show's over. But you can play in rain until something craps out or gets struck. But everything should be grounded. You should be good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, what are you two giggling about?
Hey,
What y'all
this
got?
son of a bitch. I know
Hey,
I'm going to
listen.
do it.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it.
This is so. Hey,
Why
listen,
wouldn't I?
Can I?
Hey, I'm
set it
going to
up?
let Blasi explain it. This is not one of my proudest moments.
It's
I'm
the
going to
grand
be
finale
honest
of
with
the
you.
show,
but
ladies and gentlemen.
Pride. This is magic right here. So listen.
Here you go. I mean, this is an exclusive. Y'all ready
really
for
is.
this?
Hold on. Oh, you just threw it out there. You
I
can't zoom it in.
can't.
Dude,
Yeah, I can remove it. I
We
can
were
tease you.
we
You
were in
saw it. You
Mobile
ready?
at the Senior Bowl, and we're over there hanging out, and we're hanging out at Daniel Brown's house, and we're having a big time. We go live. I get all wired up. I start yelling at him. He's yelling at me about Mobile. That's why I'm on my
Yeah,
Twitter
he's
account.
the
It says
ambassador of
Alabama
Mobile
spokesman.
because of
Yeah,
this night.
absolutely.
Yes.
But dude, somehow he morphed into Bubba the Love Sponge. Like we're just sitting there on the couch. He was like, "Watch this," and he started doing like this side profile. I was taking these pictures, and I was like, "Dude, you look just like Bubba. How did you just morph into Bubba right here on the spot?" It was mind blowing. Like it looked just like I was hanging out with Bubba the Love Sponge. Look at this. Can you zoom? Look at this. There's Bubba the Love Sponge sitting there.
Lummy.
Bubba No Neck.
Get over here, Lummy. Hootie,
I wish
nobody
you could
likes
zoom in
you,
on that.
Hootie.
Can you zoom that up?
I don't have my impersonation completely perfect.
I wish you could zoom that up a little bit. That is so good. Can you make it bigger?
You
Oh,
damn right
yes.
I
Bring it
can.
on in. Oh, my God. Look at that. That's Bubba the Love Sponge right there. Look at that. You put a little goatee in there, dude. It looks just like him.
Oh my
Oh, it's so good.
God, it's so terrible. So yeah,
Thank you.
everybody, that got
my
me
birthday
on
gift.
that picture. That picture made me decide, oh my God, I've got to get back in the gym. I've got to start. I got to get after it. I mean,
Well, we know what Tigs is going to Halloween as this year.
I may at this point. I don't know if I will. Yes, I can. I can look like a young Bubba,
Yeah.
a svelte young Bubba. I can
see-
do this.
Bubba
You gotta
you see
wear the
Bubba's
same
been
clothes
jacked.
he would
Bubba's been
wear.
ripped. He
Oh, yeah.
morphs around
Get
too
the
a little bit,
haircut.
Oh,
the
yeah.
goatee,
Yeah,
wear the
no.
right clothes.
Bubba and I relate a lot. I completely understand Bubba and everything that he does. Totally. Well, maybe not everything. That's not true.
But you understand him.
Took it a little too far.
Yeah, I kind of.
back
Let me
Crawfish
let
out
me
of that one a
reel
little bit.
myself back a
Yeah.
little bit on that one. Not Eric Andre. This thing. Let me reel it back.
Hey, listen,
But
we're going
yeah.
to dive in this to another day. I know JR's got to get going, but that Ashton
Yep.
Forbes deal with Alex Stein on Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, guys, I mean, it sounded like a funny ha-ha until he got on there and laid stuff out. Like, whoa.
Briefly, please.
Please do tell.
Dude, he's got this. It's all right, all right, he's got some footage he rolls out, and it's heat. What do you call that? The heat. It shows like the heat censored footage.
Yeah, like
What do you
heat
call that?
data, like from the
Yeah,
satellite.
Yeah, it's like
thermal.
green thermal. Thank you, thermal imaging of the flight, allegedly of the plane flying through, and there was these three orbs that surrounded it. And he's like, he challenges any scientist to like debunk this. And he was like, please come forward, and nobody has. And these three orbs are around the front of the plane, and there's this thermal imaging, and suddenly they tighten, and then poof, this circular thing that just comes open, and they go through what he thinks is like it actually. Just a portal that takes them to somewhere else, not to another dimension in time, but just like what do you call that? Like a hyperlink, where you
Like a portal or
a portal to travel like from here to San Francisco really fast.
hyperspace.
What would you call that? Like, you know what I mean? You go to they've been transponded, they've been
Teleported.
Teleported. There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm not I just saw this today and was looking at it. So that flight teleported to this base somewhere off of like south of Asia, and there's this dude. He's got all this data on this, and like the cell phone records. All people's cell phones kept ringing for 4 days later. And it's like, why were they still ringing if they had plunged into the Gulf? But dude, this footage is pretty wild to watch this plane just boop, go this black hole, and this hole goes woof, 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 and it just closes, and this plane's gone.
And this is on Alex Stein.
Alex Stein.
He did
Yeah,
this
go to Alex
interview
Stein.
last night or tonight. When was
No,
this?
it was last night, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
was the guy's name again?
His name is Ashton Forbes.
All right.
Dude, yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna have
got
to
some
watch
pretty
this.
crazy. I mean, it's too smart. He's not dumb, but it's pretty far fetched now. Let's be real, but he's pretty dialed in.
Wow.
You know, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
it's not me up there arguing it, right? You know, like I just tried to do.
It's not-
What do you
yeah.
call that? You know, black hole, telescoping, whatever, teleporting. You know what I'm talking about.
All right, boys.
Anyway,
well,
JR,
let's,
you got to get out of here, buddy.
Yep. Let's get out of here, fellas. Everybody enjoyed being with y'all as
Yes, thank
always.
y'all.
Appreciate the chat. We're gonna do this again next week. Y'all make sure to like this, share it, do all of that good stuff, and we'll see y'all.
Later.